Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today by supporting the Going In Raw Patreon. You can enjoy access to the live taping of the show, exclusive merchandise, and patron-only episodes, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.
This is the glorious one, Bobby Roode, and you're watching Going In Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you're going to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, available wherever fine podcasts are. You might, if you're watching this on YouTube, this is weird. This isn't like our normal space. There might be a little bit of an echo going on.
Yeah, there's probably a fairly prominent echo right now. It's because we're in our office space temporarily right now. We still don't have full internet capabilities. Should have that before Mania.
Yeah.
But we watched FASTLANE here. Thought, might as well record the recap while we're here.
Get we're here. Might as well
immediately.
Do it. Yeah.
So here we are, office space. Here's a little preview of what it's going to look like. Hopefully it'll sound better by the time we actually move in.
This is probably, honestly, this is the only time you're ever going to see this setup.
Yeah.
Because these are all coming, like, this is, right now we're in my cubicle space.
Yeah.
And so, and I'm not going to keep these here. These are all going to be going away. I just put these up here because we needed some backdrop for our live stream. Thanks to everybody who came out for the live stream. Yes. Yeah, like you said, we watched FASTLANE. We had, thankfully, our neighbor across the way has Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And he was gracious enough to let us use it for FASTLANE. So we got into our office. This is, like I said, the only time you're going to see this. But, like this.
We'll be in our office again because we're paying for it. But this is the only time you're going to see it like this.
We're going to do like an office tour thing at some point once we actually get in here.
Once we get everything moved in and set up.
Right. So anyways, all
in all, a relatively fun show. Not a whole lot of great build-up for this event. But
it's difficult to say, oh, this is a fantastic pay-per-view because of that. There wasn't like hardly any build-up to it. It just all sort of happened. It did feel, I mean, like kind of a glorified episode of SmackDown. I said this during the live stream. When you give matches enough time to breathe, these wrestlers are going to put on really good matches.
And that's what happened.
And we saw some decent matches. These were some good matches. But, you know, the fact is it was fairly predictable. We only disagreed in our congratulations, you won predictions. Yeah, now you have to take the Megabus to Amsterdam.
No, that's you who has to take Megabus.
I'm sorry, yeah, that's me. That's actually Adam Pacitti who has to do that. So good luck on that, Adam.
And what is that? It's supposed to be 9 hours from...
I think it was closer to like 13. I don't know. Yeah, it was like 9 to London.
Oh, I think it was 17 hours to Amsterdam.
Oh, God.
So add that plus whatever it takes for you to get from here to London.
That's
by bus.
That's a lot. Oh yeah, that's right. I have to take the Megabus.
So I'll see you in time for Mania.
Yeah. No, we didn't do the same predictions.
No.
Consequences as
in fact,
our friendo is a cultaholic.
There were no consequences other than bragging rights.
Exactly. So I mean, it was a lot like FASTLANE itself. In the kickoff show, Ty, is that his name? Ty
Dillinger, man, come on. He teamed up with the Fashion Police to take on Mojo Rawley, Chad Gable, Shelton Benjamin. I think this was announced on Twitter maybe like 10 minutes before the show started.
Moments before the show started.
And we actually thought that we'd get a Ty Mojo one-on-one match because they had been wrestling on the house show circuit in dark matches. Yeah. However, they decided for a six-man tag. But it came down to Ty and Mojo for the finish. Ultimately, Ty hits his finisher, which is like a one-need code breaker now, not the tiebreaker.
Well, he realized the tiebreaker wasn't getting it done.
Well, I mean, he wasn't. He wasn't in. Hold on. He wasn't in many matches. Two, the matches he was in, he was generally losing, so we don't get to see how effective the tiebreaker really is.
Not only has Ty Dillinger realized he's not the perfect 10, his tiebreaker, he's not even good enough to qualify as a tie with other wrestlers to effectively use something called the tiebreaker. Therefore, he had to adapt with the times, get a one-legged code breaker.
But he's one up on Mojo now.
He picked... So, okay, house show. We saw them in a house show where Mojo picked up the win.
Yeah, but we heard about... I read about a dark match between the two of them where Ty won.
Okay, so they went with that finish. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, Ty picked up the win. in the kickoff show in a completely consequence-free match.
Yeah, pretty much.
Next up, we had, to kick off the show, we had Shinsuke Nakamura take on Rusev. They gave this match a lot more time.
Yeah, about 20 minutes.
Than we figured they would. Shinsuke went over with a Kinshasa.
Two Kinshasas. First one to the back of Rusev's head. Second one to the front. There was dueling Rusev Day Nakamura chants throughout this match.
It was also indicative of how strong they booked Rusev really strong in this match.
Yes, he looked great.
Yeah, it was good. And there was no like real shenanigans from Aiden English.
Nope.
It was all just Rusev being booked really strong.
Yep.
I like that. People might complain. I agree with the sentiment out there that I've seen. And I mean, we picked up on this as soon as the inkling. I think it was when Shinsuke took on Aiden English. We realized that, we're probably going to get Shinsuke Rusev at FASTLANE.
The direction we're headed, yeah.
And we both agreed that that's a bad idea. Rusev is like one of the most organically over guys in the company right now. Shinsuke, they're trying to get over and have been doing a really crap job of it. His creative has been horrible as of late. So it was just a bad idea. But
that said, it was actually a really fun match.
No, it was a fun match. It was a good match. The crowd was into it, but you want Shinsuke to go into Mania like on a really, really super high hot streak momentum wise. And, was the crowd into it? Sure, because they like both these guys. But, were they overwhelmed with happiness that he won? No.
And I worry that might be the result at Mania when he wins.
Here's my thing. I've said this a million times. If the match builds to a super amazing crescendo, which we know these two can do, AJ and Shinsuke can do that, crowd will be super hyped for Nakamura to come out of this. And then as soon as he shows up on SmackDown the next Tuesday and they completely botch his creative, they'll go back to not caring. It'll be a 3-month underwhelming title reign and it'll put it on somebody else.
Probably Orton.
Exactly. I could see that playing out. I hope it doesn't go that way.
Yeah, me too.
I hope for the best. But you kind of have to prepare for what have we seen lately on SmackDown? It's been underwhelming.
Oh yes, but here watching FASTLANE, where you take creative for the most part in terms of building storylines out of the equation and you focus on in-ring action, it made for a really fun show.
Yeah,
and
it did.
It's a shame that on SmackDown they don't apply that same philosophy, which is, all right, well, I'll use New Japan for example, where they use kind of fairly basic motivation to instigate matches. Either you're squared off in a tournament or you come out and just challenge somebody.
Yeah.
It's about competition.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bummer they don't apply that kind of philosophy or something more similar to that to SmackDown in light of how bad the creative has been lately. Just keep things simple. Focus on in-ring action because you have phenomenal wrestlers on your roster, as this pay-per-view showed. Give people 15 to 20 minutes. Let them tell incredible stories in the ring. People will watch that. So what's happening on 205 Live?
We always get a good. We're always more positive about SmackDown when they go the route that Raw has been taking. They didn't take it last week, but Raw lately has been giving these like really, really long matches. Raw has been featuring really, really long matches. They'll have one really, really long stellar match per episode, and when SmackDown goes that route.
It benefits.
It benefits from it for sure. I agree. I think that you can never go wrong with just really good in-ring storytelling. You can't go wrong with that.
Nope.
New Japan has built their whole modern success on it. And so I would love for them to go that route. Will they? Who knows? Shinsuke Nakamura can put on an amazing match. Rusev can put on a really good match. And so hopefully his post-Mania, if he does win the title at Mania, hopefully they'll go the route of just showcasing, what he can do in the ring. I mean, he's in there, assuming the draft doesn't change things, dramatically. If we just go with what we have, a Shinsuke Owens rivalry would be great. A Shinsuke Sami Zayn rivalry would be great. We know that they put on, a fantastic match at NXT back when Nakamura debuted there. So there's a number of possibilities for Shinsuke. And then, of course, if they do draft some more talent, let's say they bring over Seth Rollins. Who wouldn't want to see Shinsuke versus Seth Rollins? That'd be
a dream match.
Outstanding. That'd be absolutely outstanding. So there's any number of ways they can go, assuming he wins a title at
Mania.
Mania. If he doesn't, he desperately needs to be the beneficiary of either a change of scenery or a change or whatever the highest profile guy who comes over from Raw needs to be matched up with Nakamura immediately. Otherwise, my God, you're wasting him.
I know.
You were completely wasting him. I think he's going to win at Mania, though.
Yeah, the odds are probably in his favor, but I
in his favor,
I don't know if it's a sure thing.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a sure
yet.
thing either, because McMahon really, everybody loves AJ Styles.
Yeah.
But then to see if the rumors out there are true and AJ goes to Raw,
then he has to drop that belt. Yeah,
then he has to drop that title. Yeah.
Next, we had a really fun match between Randall Orton and Bob Roode. It's probably Bob Roode's best match since he's arrived on the main roster. It's very reminiscent of his matches against Nakamura in NXT. In terms of the storytelling Bob Roode was putting forth, and it seemed like everything he would throw at Randall Orton would find would find an answer to or kick out of. And several times Bob Roode was beside himself.
Again, a pretty long match. I was surprised there was no shenanigans from Jinder Mahal.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see Jinder until after the match finished, so we had a clean finish. It was a really fun finish too, but the entire match itself was very physical.
Orton was working over Roode's back and ribs. There was a spot where Orton did a belly to back suplex across the barricade. Usually he does that onto the announce table. This time across the barricade. Superplex, as always. That's a signature for Randy Orton these days. But in the end, Bob Roode goes for some sort of second rope move, maybe another blockbuster. RK out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. Yeah, it was a top rope, like you said. It was a top rope.
RKO out of nowhere. Yeah. Orton picks up the win. Afterwards, Jinder comes out.
Let's back up for a second. The only thing. So you mentioned this, and I agree with you like 90% of the way. The one thing that I think was kind of missing from this, what we got with Bobby Roode, like for example against I want to say Hideo Itami, was Bobby was really, really good at. And I don't know if it was an element of his heel persona in NXT, but he always had a really great sense of urgency with his characterization, with his acting.
Yeah.
And I felt like we got a glimpse of that here, but it wasn't to the degree that I was used to at NXT. That was one thing that I really loved about him, is that he would try A, B, and C.
Well, I think
you would really see the frustration on his face. And you saw it here, just not to the degree that we saw in NXT. And I wonder if that's I wonder if that factors into the change of character that we've seen. I think
so, because in NXT, he was always such a great strategist and tactician, and then when the opportunity presented itself, he would strike. For example, the first Nakamura match, where Nakamura hurt his knee, Roode takes advantage of it, picks up the title, and I think because of that kind of aspect of his character as a strategist, as a tactician, when his strategy didn't work, as a heel, he would get frustrated with it. Whereas now we have face Bob Roode, we haven't seen that tactician aspect of his character yet. Hopefully we will. And so I think him selling, it's more astonishment and also I think respect. That's what I gathered from this match. That Roode was selling whenever Orton would kick out of something, whenever Orton would respond with something,
as opposed to like,
damn it. Yeah. I gave him my best shot and he kicked out.
So we did see it at the very end. Post-match, Jinder Mahal comes out. He attacks Orton, who's celebrating, for now he's a one-time United States champion. Yeah,
he's a Grand Slam champ now.
He's a US champion now.
Orton is US champion.
Hey. Jinder attacks Randy Orton. Roode comes in, lays out Jinder with the glorious DDT, then lays out Orton with the glorious DDT, and that was sort of the sense of urgency. That was sort of the
frustration,
the desperation, whatever you want to call it, and him finally settling on the realization that he's no longer US champion.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bob Roode.
His reign as greatest US champion ended way too soon. His dreams of carrying the US title into WrestleMania.
This bums me out, because I'm going to be this is going to be a triple threat, Jinder, Bobby, and Randy Orton. I am going to be thoroughly rooting for Jinder Mahal in this match.
No.
I get the feeling Bobby Roode might pick it back up.
That's my feeling too. Bob Roode to become two-time US champion.
Two-time US champion. I'm surprised more people
Double US champion.
I'm surprised people haven't been bugged yet by your insistence on calling them Bob Roode and Randall Orton.
What's their names?
Bobby Roode and Randy Orton.
Well, I should say Robert Roode and Randall Orton then.
Totally awesome.
Next, we had a backstage segment between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, where Kevin Owens is taping up or something. Sami Zayn comes up to him, Owens is like, hey, what are you doing here?
Hey, man.
After what you pulled last week on SmackDown. And Sami Zayn's like, hold on.
Whoa, that was
We're
on
good.
SmackDown. He said SmackDown's non-canon. I didn't say anything about what I was going to do or not do on SmackDown. I talked about FASTLANE. This is FASTLANE. We're here.
He said, what I said the other day still holds. I will lay down for you here on FASTLANE.
And they hugged, didn't they? Didn't they hug or no?
No, I don't remember that.
I don't know if they hugged or not.
Owens still seemed wary.
Yeah.
And that was how it was left.
Oh, okay.
Kind of open-ended. Next, Naomi and Becky Lynch taking on Carmella and Natalya. Decent match.
I mean, Becky had some new ring gear.
Yeah, that looked great.
With literal fire on it.
Yeah,
I'm surprised. Great. Usually you're like, you say, no, it's too literal. She talks about spitting hot fire. They have hot fire. Number one. Hold on a second. Number one. No such thing as cold fire.
It's true.
As far as I'm like on Earth anyways. I wonder if in space there's or on like other moons, cold fire.
Depending on like atmospheric pressure, density of the body,
carbon,
all that stuff. Well, about carbon, but yeah, it depends on gravity, density,
volcanic disruptions.
I'm sure there might be cold fire. I don't know. Anyways, or colder fire than we're used to.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyways, yes, she had new ring gear that had like fire print on it, so it wasn't like Seth's embroidered fire.
His Guy Fieri-esque.
His ring gear. This is actually like cloth with fire on it.
Yeah,
not real flames, mind you, but like printed on.
She wasn't on fire.
No, not literally.
Metaphorically, she was.
With fire print on it, and I think it looked great.
She looked very comfortable. That's all I really care about.
Yeah,
is comfortability.
Comfort is paramount.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, I mean, this is talk about a non-consequential match. This is sort of it. We both called the heels winning in this match, and that's exactly what happened.
Yep.
Carmella pinned Becky after a nice-looking super kick.
Yeah. So we thought they would add fuel to the fire that was this burgeoning and kind of ongoing Carmella-Becky feud that's been going back even when Ellsworth was still around.
Right.
So I don't know how this culminates based on what we saw later on. We're not getting Becky versus Charlotte at Mania.
Hasn't there been some rumors about an Andre the Giant Battle Royal-esque Battle Royal for the women?
Yes.
They're going to dub it something in honor of a late female wrestler. Like Alundra Blake. She's alive. She's alive. I don't know. Mildred Burke.
Okay.
Am I getting that name right?
No, that sounds right. I think you're correct with that.
Hey, listen, if that's not a real person, I'm going to write a comic book about that.
There you go.
Wrestler.
I think that's right, though.
Totally right, though. Look at that.
Yeah, I told you you're right.
Well, I don't know. Okay, fine. What year was she born?
1927.
1915.
Oh.
What year did she die?
72.
89. Oh. She lived a pretty penny. 73.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Anyways, after that, you say Carmella picked up the win with a super kick.
Wow, look at this guy. This is her husband. He was a promoter. This is the most promoting looking dude I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Step right up. Oh, no, it just got smaller.
Anyways, after that, we had New Day versus the Usos. This match was preceded by an awesome video package recapping their entire feud that was one of our nominees for Best Feud of 2017, the Friendo Awards.
Yeah, sure.
Because it was great.
Yeah, no, it was
a series
fantastic.
of fantastic matches. Anyways, the kind of the story of this match is one-upsmanship. And
they're very familiar with each other's oeuvre.
Yes, the New Day bringing out some of the Usos moves, and the Usos doing the same to the New Day.
Yep.
Why are you watching our stream?
I'm paying attention. I know.
All right,
I know what to say.
Sorry. So you had the Usos hitting the midnight hour on the New Day. Kofi kicks out. You had Kofi hit an Uso splash. Jay kicking out. All this back and forth where they're trying or successfully doing each other's moves just because they know each other so well.
They know each other very well.
Yes. At one point, New Day gets sent outside the ring. Usos do a double planche over the top rope on the New Day. Everybody's laid out.
They're all, yeah.
Yeah, Bludgeon Brothers music hit.
Dun, 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 dun. And then they sprint. They do a full sprint.
No.
To the ring.
Slowly take off their coats.
Yeah.
Place them down slowly, gently on the ramp. Slowly pick up their hammers. Saunter to the ring.
While they're sauntering to the ring, do they sell the weight of these supposed massive mallets one time They're like flipping them around, doing like juggling acts with them.
They're like
stuff.
drumsticks. They're twirling them in their fingers.
Exactly.
Anyways, they get down to ringside, and
These are the least intimidating mallets.
yeah, they should ditch the mallets.
They really should.
Anyways, they obliterate everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. Fun splash from Eric Rowan onto Big E.
Hey, does he have the best fun splash in the WWE? That isn't Killian Dane.
Yeah, I say Damos is pretty good.
Yeah, Damos is probably
Damo
the
gets
best.
more air on his fun splash. Nikki Cross has a good fun splash too.
Yeah.
They obliterate everybody, and it culminates in Bludgeon Brothers hitting a full Nelson powerbomb on Xavier Woods onto the ring steps. And either he's a great seller, which I think is the case, or he really got hurt.
Well, okay, here's the thing.
And they said on the broadcast that he was sent to a hospital, right?
On the broadcast, they said that everybody was being treated in the back except for Xavier Woods. He went to a hospital and he had like a spinal contusion or something.
That means bruise.
Basically a bruise near his neck, but on his spine. I find that really hard to believe. So it's because like when he was selling it, he was doing the thing and it didn't look real. However, when you see the actual impact happen,
It looks like the base of his skull hits the edge of the ring steps.
yeah, that looked bad.
It looked bad. It looked bad.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I would think the back of his head should probably hit flush with the ring steps, or at least he tucks in like this.
Yeah,
and
it
lets
looks,
the
it
top
looks like
of his-
if it happened. I don't know if it did because you have to watch it in slow motion. It's like when he on impact, even if he tucked his chin,
Yeah.
there's still a little bit of this that could happen.
Yeah.
and the worry is that when he gets whiplashed back,
right. Yeah, exactly.
that the edge of the ring steps hits the base of his skull.
Yeah, it didn't look good.
It didn't look good. It looked like it hurt. Even if he tucked his chin all the way down and he didn't suffer or wasn't whiplashed at all, it still looked like it would have hurt.
Yeah.
Anyways, so medical staff comes down to the ringside area, attends to everybody. They put Xavier Woods on his stretcher. This is all setting up a triple threat match like we thought at while you're watching it. Oof. Yeah, that doesn't look good. Ow.
Yeah.
Triple threat for the SmackDown tag titles, New Day, Usos, and Bludgeon Brothers. I kind of wish it was just New Day and Usos. Mm-hmm. They put on phenomenal matches. Give them a stage like Mania. Put a 2 out of 3 falls stipulation on there.
I see what you're saying. Look, man, I'm a huge fan of both these teams, and they have like the best chemistry amongst any two teams, especially on SmackDown. But you know, you got to do something with the Bludgeon Brothers.
Here's the story.
There,
they can mid-match forge another Oos truce to take on Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah.
Because as the post or the attack during this match proves, the Bludgeon Brothers can just lay out everybody.
Yeah, that would be smart, but either way, the Bludgeon Brothers have to come in. They're coming out of Mania with those titles.
Yeah, probably.
That's happening. I mean, that's the whole point of them.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with it. Come on, man. You like Harper?
I like Harper. I don't know. The gimmick's kind of not up my alley exactly, and I think New Day and Usos, are more interesting teams. Mm-hmm. B, the work they put out there in 2017 is really top-notch stuff. And not to say Bludgeon Brothers, especially Luke Harper. Luke Harper's great. I love Luke Harper.
You know what I hate? Dude, this is what I hate. Not to cut you off. Why did they need to rebrand them?
I know.
Why not, like, out of the Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton stuff, why not have Luke Harper, bring out Rowan and just be a different, like, have them recruit somebody else into their version of the Wyatt
Harper family.
The Harper family.
Wasn't that a sitcom?
Harper family, PTA. No, it was
Valerie Harper. Oh, it was the Hogan family.
It was the Hogan family.
The Hogan family with Valerie Harper was in it.
Wasn't it just called Valerie?
Maybe it was at some point.
It was first called Valerie. She left, and then it became the Hogan family.
Is that when Sandy Duncan came on?
Sandy Duncan came on, yeah.
That's where Jason Bateman got his start.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
The Hogan family, but at first it was Valerie.
All right.
Yeah, I know my shit.
All right. Well,
That's weird. Apparently I don't know if she was difficult to work with or what. Oh, yeah. She was written out of the series after the second season because of a dispute with the show's producers.
Oh.
So that's not her being difficult. That's the producers. But then why didn't these people stand with her? Why didn't Teen Wolf 2 stand with Valerie Harper?
I don't know. Don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
Don't want to answer for you.
You got a TV show. You can't be rocking the boat.
Guess not.
I don't know.
How many seasons was it on?
Listen to this, dude. It was 6 seasons. And first it was called Valerie. Then third season, they called it Valerie's Family. And then finally, they got their shit together and just called it the Hogan Family. I think Valerie's Family season was because They killed her off. That's brutal.
That is.
They killed her off.
But the problem is that the dad was an airline pilot. He was gone half the time.
He was gone always. Yeah.
So who was looking after the kids?
Teen Wolf 2.
He wasn't old enough to do
Michael
that.
Bluth.
He wasn't old enough to do that yet.
Sure he was.
Was Sandy Duncan in the third season?
She showed up season 3, I guess.
So did they use the title Valerie's Family to transition from Valerie to Hogan Family? Is that the point of it?
Yeah, they took a whole season to transition titles. Valerie's Family was them dealing with the death, like the aftermath of her death. And then Hogan Family, they just didn't give a shit anymore.
They had moved on past
that dude. That pilot, he was going from town to town, dropping his seed everywhere.
Oh, dear.
Just putting it in everything. It moved.
Oh, dear.
He was like, yep, this is happening now.
So, wait, did Sandy Duncan marry the dad then?
But yeah, that is a big...
What's the story?
No, man. That was like his sister, I think.
Oh, was it? I don't remember. I don't remember.
I think Sandy Duncan as Sandy Hogan, and dude was Man Hogan. He was David Hogan. No, that was Jason Bateman. Who the fuck was the dad? There was Valerie, David, Willie.
Yeah. It's his sister.
Josh Taylor? Josh Taylor is Michael Hogan. Yeah. He's still alive.
That's the story beat I didn't remember.
I just don't know that season 3. No, I'm actually really confused. Like season 3. Oh yeah, she showed up. Okay,
yeah.
So she showed up.
So it's like a Full House situation.
So
where
she was there
where a spouse passes
to watch
away,
the kids.
and so the surviving spouse looks to a sibling to help raise the kids.
Yeah, right. So Sandy Duncan was there season 3. So they were covered. They were good.
Was John Stamos actually related to the dad in Full House?
I actually looked this up relatively recently. I think John Stamos was the brother of the dead mom.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Pretty sure that was the case.
All right.
After that, we had an AJ Styles interview where he talked about winning. And then Shinsuke Nakamura came in.
And before he can say, I'm going to beat you at WrestleMania,
AJ got annoyed.
Yeah, he cut him off, said, I'm going to beat you at WrestleMania.
That confrontation probably wasn't nearly as cool as whatever confrontation they had leading up to Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh, I know.
Let's talk about sitcom-y. Next up, we had Ruby Riott versus Charlotte.
Yeah, this was a good match, and really early on, Ruby hit her finisher, the Riott kick, and then Charlotte just kicked out.
Apparently, she needs to get... She's like Ty Dillinger. She needs to get a new finisher.
Yeah.
You can't be... Because number one, look, it's called the finisher for a reason. It's supposed to be your finishing move.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the last move you do for the match.
It's not. It doesn't mean you're finishing the person off regardless, unless it's the RKO. Because I think we both agree, if you hit an RKO to start a match, we've seen evidence of that.
Match ends. Everybody else, if your move isn't a cutter, then or a variation thereof, you're not finishing a match at the beginning of the match. It's interesting. The cutter seems to be the most devastating finisher.
Everybody do cutter,
but it's like it looks to be the least devastating if you think about it shoot-wise.
It actually looks like a pretty fun move to take. Yeah.
So it's interesting that kayfabe, most destructive, shoot, least destructive.
What's the quickest match that's ever been won using a power bomb? I feel like a power bomb.
Probably Diesel beating Bob Backlund.
Oh, that makes sense. Because Bob Backlund, he shouldn't have been in that
about
ring.
8 seconds, I think.
Yeah.
12 seconds, something like that. Anyways, Ruby hits her finisher early on. Charlotte kicks out.
Mm-hmm.
Match continues. Riott Squad. Becky's on the outside. Riott Squad approaches. Naomi and Becky Lynch come out to kind of even the odds a bit.
This is weird.
What?
Sorry, I didn't mean to be on Twitter. The Alienist on TNT, their official account keeps on hitting me up, like my name. And they say, what should be their next step in the hunt for the killer? The Alienist is all new Monday.
Is this some sort of ARG? Are they trying to get you involved in this case in some sort of Twitter ARG?
Okay, they've got 12,000 followers. Do they bug other people? How does that work? A day ago? Where are the tweets and replies? Did they reply to me or something? Oh, what the hell? Who else are they talking to? This lady only has 1,000 followers. Who's this guy? 2,000 followers. Man, they're freaking...
Do you follow them?
No, I have never seen the Alienist in my life.
That's weird. Maybe they know that.
Maybe that's why. I mean, that's probably why they're hitting me up.
They're literally going to every person who hasn't watched the show on Twitter.
I mean, that's a lot of people.
And asking, help us solve this case. Anyways, back to the match. Charlotte, Ruby Riott has some good back and forth. Charlotte hits moonsault off the barricade. At one point, Riott Squad. Hold on, there's something that sets it up. Riott Squad gets in the ring while Kyoto's focusing on something else. So that gets Becky and Naomi involved up on the apron. Kyoto sees them, kicks them out of the ring. While he's doing that, Riott Squad gets back out and starts attacking Charlotte while Kyoto's ejecting Becky and Naomi. By the time he's done with that, he turns around, realizes what really happened. He ejects Riott Squad from ringside.
You're done. You're done. Get out of here.
And then shortly after that, Charlotte puts on the figure 8. Ruby taps out pretty much immediately.
She starts tapping out with both hands, too. She's like,
Match over. Things got really interesting after the match when Asuka walks down to the ring.
Whoa.
Gets in Charlotte's face.
Whoa.
Turns and points to the WrestleMania sign. Apparently, that's the match we're getting.
I could be wrong. That would seem to indicate that Asuka and Charlotte might have a match at WrestleMania.
That's the vibe I'm getting to.
Is that what you're...
I think history has told us that whenever two people are in the ring and one of them points to the WrestleMania sign, they're saying, I want to wrestle you at Mania.
That's like the challenge.
Yeah, pretty much. So
I really want on Raw Alexa Bliss to be all super happy about this. And then Asuka comes out and says,
No.
Going to challenge for your title too.
Yeah, I want both those belts.
Yeah, man. I like red and I like blue. What should I do?
Why choose when I can have both?
Exactly. Yeah, that's my philosophy, man.
Yeah, I think that'd be great if that were to happen. I don't think it is.
No. We're getting Alexa Bliss with Nia Jax.
WWE realizes that Ronda's going to take a lot of the spotlight over on Raw. They want to make sure Asuka gets her own huge spotlight
on Fox Sports 1.
Send her to SmackDown. She can have some great matches against Charlotte, against Becky, and I think it's going to be against Natalya. I think it's going to be for Asuka's benefit, assuming creative just really doesn't screw it up. I hope they don't screw it up horribly.
Oh man, look, here's the thing, Asuka, I don't see Asuka losing till Mania, probably to Ronda Rousey, which next year should be a fantastic build. So the only way you can screw up Asuka is by having her lose in a crap way.
No, here's the thing, they almost screwed up Asuka when they brought her up when she had a competitive match against Emma.
She didn't lose though.
No, I know.
She hasn't lost.
But they weren't. Since those two matches, they seem to realize, okay, it's one thing to have she can have competitive matches, but like her first match, she was she was the one doing all the selling. Yeah. She wasn't getting a whole lot of offense in.
Yeah.
So she can face adversity, but she shouldn't be the one that's doing all the selling throughout the match. You
don't want her having competitive matches against like Carmella.
Yeah. It's one, she should have competitive matches
Morgan
against the, top of the card women's talent.
Yeah, man.
Anyways, this will be a stellar match at Mania against Asuka and Charlotte. Yeah, and maybe hopefully against between Asuka and Alexa Bliss too. But Alexa, Nia Jax is a match they've been building up to for a long time, ever since Alexa came over to Raw. And they're laying the groundwork for that story. They have been for a while. So I'm looking forward to that. I think that'll be good too. Nia's really, really, really been doing some great stuff recently. Alexa, she's always great in the mic.
Yeah, she's good
in the ring. So I think that'll be a lot of fun too.
No, I think it's good. I do hope they give Asuka at least, some amount of, hell, even if it's on Twitter, say, this is why I'm doing this. Because, although I take your meaning about her motivation for going against Alexa Bliss, number one, her motivation for going against Alexa Bliss, she's already beaten her, so she knows she can. Number two, that's the Raw Women's title, which is arguably the more prestigious title, even though the better wrestler holds the SmackDown title, which should be all the motivation she needs.
Yeah.
It should be like, look, I don't care that I'm on the B show. I know this is crap, but Charlotte is the best. She has the title and I want the best.
Yeah.
So that should be the thing. She should openly call SmackDown the B show. Here I am on the B show.
I'm here to elevate the B show by...
Exactly. Yeah. And then that brings us to our main event, which was, of course... John Cena versus Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn versus AJ Styles, who we both saw coming out of this. But I'll say this, the match was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was a ton of fun. It was chaotic. It was all over the place.
It kicked off with John Cena.
No. It kicked off with Shane McMahon coming down sitting ringside.
I like to block out things from my memory that I don't like happening. And I don't like that happening.
Well, his presence ringside played a huge role in the story of this match, so you can't ignore it, man.
No, I can't ignore it, actually.
No, you can't. Anyways, the match, when it kicked off, Cena dropped AAs on everybody except AJ Styles. Everybody ran up to him. They got an AA.
I like how you say that so matter-of-factly.
What?
Everybody ran up to him like
That's
it was
exactly how it played out.
Like it was a kung fu movie.
That's pretty much how it played out.
He just it was like me fighting my pillows when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
You know?
And the one person who didn't bolt right to Cena when the match started was AJ Styles, and he didn't eat an AA.
I know. Why? Like, what was the motivation for everybody just running at him one by one?
I don't know.
After guy 3, doesn't guy 4 say, hold on a second?
No, it took till AJ, number 5. I guess it'd be, number 5.
Yeah. Anyways, I mean, like, after, who was first? After, like, Dolph and Baron, wouldn't Kevin and Sammy be like, okay, maybe that's not a great strategy.
Yeah, I know.
Just rushing him.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Like, my thing is, I would wait for one guy to rush him, and as he's rushing him, then I would run into it. So as Cena's lifting up for an AA, I'd be, like, spearing him or something.
Yeah, I know.
Then I win match.
But don't go high, go low. Take out his knees.
Yeah, exactly. Chop block.
Basement drop kick, something like that. Anyways, so the open
It was
match,
a good spot. It was fun, though. It was like a Royal Rumble
and
type
it gave us
spot.
an opportunity to open the match, Cena against AJ, which is always a great match. Mm-hmm. So they went at it for a little bit. Everybody else gets back in the ring. Everybody turns their attention on John Cena. Everybody beats up John Cena. Kevin Owens throws him out of the ring. Mm-hmm. And so then at that point, things just get chaotic, fighting all over the ringside area, or all around the announce table, some in the ring. At some point, Cena gets back in, eats a Styles Clash. Sami Zayn breaks it up. There's all sorts of crazy near falls where it looked like people were just waiting till 2 7/8 to break up pinfalls.
Yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
So even though we all kind of thought that AJ Styles was going to pick up the win, based on how it was booked and based how everybody sold those pinfalls and near falls, it added a lot of drama to the match, which is very much needed. Mm-hmm. At one point, Baron Corbin just drives Dolph. They fight out through the audience, and it's in Columbus, so it must have been their stadium where their hockey team, the Blue Jackets,
that was fun.
play.
That was cool.
He drives Dolph through the boards, the plexiglass boards, where from the hockey arena.
Then they had to sit in the penalty box.
Yeah, well, Baron didn't. He ran back towards the ring.
I'm running.
Dolph did for a little bit.
Yeah.
Right after that, Owens, I believe, sets up announce tables for some sort of spot, tears 2 of them apart, tries to do something to Cena. Cena reverses it. AJ gets involved. He takes an AA through the announce table, so he's out of the match for quite a while, till the finish at this point. Mm-hmm. Right after that, we get a moment between Owens and Zayn. They're in the middle of the ring, talking back and forth. Sammy's like, I told you I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it now.
So he slowly lays down.
Very slowly, like, starts getting to his knee.
In the middle of the ring.
And then he gets down there. And then Kevin Owens, he's like, dude, I can't take this. This is too ridiculous. It's not going to happen. And he starts to bring...
Well, also, I think the commentary said this, is that Owens didn't trust him.
Right, exactly.
He thought Zayn would try to roll him up.
Right,
so he tries to pick him up. Zayn does roll him up.
He tries to roll him up, yeah.
Yeah, and then Owens kicks at it too.
Yeah. Then they start going at it big time. They start punching the shit out of each other.
Yeah, they get to the outside, the ringside area. They fight some more. Sami Zayn gets in Shane McMahon's face. They start arguing. Shane's like, hey, get off.
Hey.
Owens super kicks, trying to super kick Sami. Sami gets out of the way, so instead...
Owens super kicks Shane McMahon.
Yes.
That sets up a WrestleMania match for Shane versus Kevin or Sami or
something like that. Wow, Shane might actually win a WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
Because those two, if it's like a handicap match,
if it's a handicap match,
then Shane's getting a W.
He's going to win. And if it's a triple threat, he might actually get a win.
Yeah, because the other two can't stop fighting each other. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
I don't know if that's better than the Under the Giant Memorial Battle Royal or not. Anyways, shortly after that, Owens powerbombs Dolph. Appears to have the WWE title in hand. Shane pulls the referee out of the ring right after 2. Right after that, Sami Zayn hits a haluva kick on Owens. Shane does the same thing, pulls Zayn out of the ring during the pinfall. Commentary is going ballistic. Why is Shane doing this? This isn't fair. This isn't cool, Shane.
Yeah, man, I was the same way. It's not cool.
Why is Shane interjecting himself to this degree?
So annoying.
I know you have a beef, Shane, but this is too much.
Too much, man.
Too much. Anyways, Cena hits an AA on Corbin on the ring steps. He goes for the pin while Corbin's still on the ring steps. Still not sure how that's illegal. Anyways, Dolph breaks it up in like 2 7/8. It was great.
Yeah, I didn't know that you can have if you bring a table in, is there a height? What's the issue?
Well, here's the thing though. If you bring a table in, you put someone through the table, at least a part of that person is hitting the mat.
No. I know.
What?
You cut me off, man. What if you like just bring a table in, set it up, put somebody on it, and then try to pin them?
I don't think that works.
Why would that not work? And the ring steps do work.
The ring steps shouldn't work.
Okay, so we're in agreement on that.
Yeah. No, I think.
But the ring steps did work here, so evidently that's got to be a precedent.
No, I think that's happened before.
Okay.
I feel like didn't Cena beat Lesnar by doing an AA on the ring steps before?
What about Roman Reigns and Rusev? Well, there was an accolade on the ring steps. That's just not the same thing as you just tapping out.
Yeah, that's fine. But I think if you're pitting somebody, unless it's a Falls Count Anywhere match, it has to be on the mat in the ring, right?
Cena.
Check Cena
Brock
Lesnar, the first match.
Ring steps.
Because there was an AA on the ring steps. The very first match right after Lesnar came back, I think in 2012. Anyways, the finish saw Kevin Owens hit a pop-up powerbomb on John Cena. As soon as Owens finishes the move, AJ Styles hits him with a phenomenal forearm. AJ wins, retains the title. He's going on to Mania to face Nakamura as expected. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of hoping that match will main event the show, though I'm not optimistic it'll happen.
Cena picks up Brock to attempt the attitude adjustment and hits it on the steel steps. 1, 2, 3, it's over. I think you're right about that. I'm not sure I don't think he rolled him off.
No, I don't remember him rolling him off. I think he hit on the ring steps and
Well,
pinned him on the ring steps.
is that like in his contract?
What was the stipulation of the match?
It was an Extreme Rules match.
Yeah, I think it has to be a Falls Count Anywhere. I think it should be a Falls Count Anywhere.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, because anywhere means anywhere.
Yeah.
But then isn't it? No, Extreme Rules matches, they still have to pin or submission.
It has to happen inside the ring, yes.
Bummer. Anyways.
And that was inside the ring. The ring steps were inside the ring, but still.
Yeah. Dolph broke up the fall.
No, I already got through the rest of the match.
Oh, okay. AJ won. I was kind of surprised. I didn't notice. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. It was always possible. Did they focus on Cena dealing with his loss at all? Being sad?
Yeah. They did. They did. He was, because AJ had his belt in the middle of the ring, and then Cena was kind of sitting in the corner with his hand over his face, dealing with frustration in his mind, thinking he has no road to WrestleMania Undertaker. Yeah. So yeah, they dealt with it. They just didn't do a close up on him. It was always over his shoulder looking at AJ.
Yeah, I feel like they didn't milk that.
Yeah, they could have milked it a bit more. I'm sure they'll milk it on Raw and or SmackDown.
If I recall, they kind of milked it at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
when he got eliminated.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. All in all, a fun show.
It was a fun show. Look, man, people might crap on it or something because there wasn't like a lot that there was no real build. There was no real consequences. We have one title change. And that's kind of inconsequential because we knew what the match was going to be going into Mania. Mm-hmm. And, I guess there was maybe the formality of Randy Orton getting his
Grand Slam, yeah.
His Grand Slam, so now he can claim that. He's already one of the best ever. You don't really need that.
Yeah, he's already a first ballot Hall of Famer headliner.
Yeah, but so yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Coolest part, I think, was probably Asuka coming out.
Yeah. That was the lone real surprise of the show. But you know what? We've been saying for a while that the way the Mania card has been shaping up, it looks like there's to be potential for a lot of really good matches.
Yeah.
And they didn't really rock the boat at all on this show. Even the one title change, Orton and Rude.
Yeah.
We know the Mania match would be Orton versus Rude versus Mahal. Mm-hmm. And we both get the sense that Bob Roode will pick up that title back.
Yeah, probably. Depending on how I think depending on how the heel face dynamic.
Oh, we didn't really touch on that a whole lot. We mentioned that Rude hit the glorious DDT on Orton.
Yeah.
But, it was obvious out of frustration. But
I mentioned that was the one we saw him being kind of frustrated, but I didn't really see. No, what I was going to say is, they need balance in their show to make sure that, within the same ballpark number of heels and faces pick up the wins. And so I think that might...
Oh.
I'm not sure they're really going to care. There's not like a big torch passing for Bobby Roode to pick that title back up.
Yeah.
If they want, Jinder to pick it back up to give him a bit more steam and somebody for Bobby Roode to chase again, that might not be a bad idea.
Entirely possible. And they have that whole story between Orton and Mahal where Mahal just always has Orton's number.
I think it'd be wise to let Bobby Roode get one clean win over Randy Orton, though.
Yeah, agreed.
Randy Orton's kind of a gatekeeper who they don't really let him, they don't let a lot of people get past that gate.
Yeah.
And I think that Bobby Roode is definitely one of those. They let Jinder past him. Granted, it was always in fishy ways.
Well, Nakamura beat Orton, too.
Nakamura, that's right. Bobby Roode, that's a good function, I think, for Randy Orton to get Bobby Roode over.
Yeah, agreed.
So yeah, all in all, I mean, look, it was a fun. It felt like a decent episode of SmackDown where there was a lot of good fights.
Oh, it felt like a really good episode of SmackDown.
So yeah, I mean, it was FASTLANE. Hey, I'll say this:
it was probably the best edition of FASTLANE we've seen since the inception of the show.
Is FASTLANE the least the pay-per-view throughout the year? Generally speaking,
it's the one that feels like more than any other formality.
Yeah, right.
Because last year it was Owens versus Goldberg. Mm-hmm. There was no doubt who's going to win that match.
Right, exactly, yeah.
And then the year prior, I think it was Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns. I thought was the main event.
Yeah,
with Reigns' main event at Mania spot on the line. I thought.
Well, I'll have to go back and watch that and see how bad it was. See how many people were crapping on it. If that's the case, I do remember we called that up. That
FASTLANE.
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 That's what we called it.
Or am I wrong about the? Oh, sorry. No, it must have been a different pay-per-view. Last year, or 2016, was Reigns defeated Lesnar and Ambrose in triple threat, number one contender for the. So it was Reigns' title shot in the line. Mm-hmm. So which pay-per-view was? Oh, there was one in 2015. So there's been 4 of them. Maybe this is Daniel Bryan.
That was one of our first going.
Yeah, that was the one. That was the one where Reigns beat Daniel Bryan.
Oh, that's crap.
At WrestleMania 31.
Man, they really love their Roman Reigns, don't they?
Yep, they do.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're now officially on the road to WrestleMania?
Yeah, man. And we're also officially on the road to moving into Office Space. So by the time I think we both agree, timing works out, we can get everything to work, that we'll be fully operational here at the office for the Mania live stream. Have everything set up, ready to go. Mania will kick off our move in here officially. The hard launch. This is a soft launch. The hard launch will happen for Mania. We're gonna have pizza.
Yeah.
Maybe special guest Hilton.
Courtesy of Robert Stack.
Yeah.
Who's gonna go by the name
official
Robert
sponsor,
Snack.
Food sponsor for
He's
the Going
kicked us
in
like
Raw.
a ton of money on Super Chats.
Yeah,
for
Mania stream. Maybe Hilton will show up.
Oh, God.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He'll be invited.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll never say I want him to show up. But
Maybe we'll invite him, but we'll have him on camera.
there we go. Now we'll have Hilton here. We'll just make him feel uncomfortable. Anyways, that's it for the show. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. And till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Bye.